call a meeting order, I guess. First thing we have on our agenda is Bill Williamson. Bill called me yesterday, and I went up there and looked at this deal. I'm going to show him these pictures.
That's fine.
Bill's north of my house a ways, and what the deal is he's got a pond on his property, big pond, it's pretty close to the road. The township is basically draining the water out of the ditch in this pond. Here's where they just took the grader and cut through on the edge of the road, you know, to where it runs into the ditch. And then this is the channel that has eroded out of the ditch into his pond. And then this is another channel on the other end of the pond. So I don't know. I told Bill we really didn't have any say-so over townships, but that might be. I'm pretty sure that's not legal to run ditch water into a man-made pond without the person's permission. And I told him that he probably should contact Kansas Department of Water Resources over at Stafford, and they can be in touch with whoever needed to.
I have contacted them, Carl. They couldn't do nothing over there. He gave me Janelle Phillips out of Manhattan to call, and I called her. She called me back yesterday morning. She said that it's not in their jurisdiction for them to do anything. She said that under KSA 68-115 that the township has to maintain proper water drainage, in the townships. So, I didn't know where, Eddie, he did stop me yesterday and he looked at it, but I don't know what they come up with.
You know, when I called Eddie and he said, what do we need to do about it? And I said, well, one thing you need to do is you need to get some rock fill in those channels where it's run right in your pond.
Right.
And I don't know what else they need to do, but they need to get those channels filled in where it doesn't just run in there every time.
Right.
Did you bring that big picture how far it floods up on your property?
No, I didn't.
He showed me a picture there.
Yeah,
the last.
you took one on your phone.
Oh, yeah. It floods up about 100, it fills the whole pond up and then floods up there about 125, 150 yards off the road towards his house.
That's a deep pond.
What's that KSA number, what?
68-115. That's that lady up there.
That's what it looked like out there. I mean, it holds a lot of water.
I think they could probably go north with it, but I don't know, because
they put in a set of tank batteries about 100 yards north, and then they have just approaches without culverts. So I don't know. I didn't have the number for Terry's lead. I knew Terry had talked to somebody about that water drainage across the road down there, but I didn't have Terry's number.
Go ahead, Mike, look into this statute.
This is statute concerning opening and repair of roads by county engineer or township trustee, drains and ditches, penalty for obstruction, compensation for road building materials. The duty of the township board to maintain such road.
I'll start by the soil conservation office and see if they have any idea as far as that. Because it's really not maintaining the road, it's maintaining the ditch or the water that's coming off of it.
Yeah.
So basically what you're saying is they're just kind of opening up the ditch so that it runs on the...
Yeah, and it runs from, I live on the east side of the road, but it comes from south, the corner south of me, about a quarter mile. Roger Fancher has some level circle out there. but he doesn't pump the water out of it, it just stays full all the time, and then whenever, you get a big rain, it runs that pond over halfway out, out into his field, and then across the roads, each way, east and west, and then north on the Greg Bear's land, and it comes up and then runs across the road right in front of my place.
So it's more than just cutting off the roads, it's cutting off people's land.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been involved in a few of those things, and in a wet year, they're just gonna say water is gonna seek
Well,
itself.
yeah, I understand that, but there's no place for it to go on north, to even take part of it to get it out of there. It all just dumps in my pond. When we had that tornado, at White Greensburg, we got 11 inches of rain, a lot. But, it flooded clear up in my property, into my barn. It ran my log splitter, a mower I had in there. I had lumber stored in there, just got soaked. It was 2 foot deep. And running across my driveway, I had that much electric fence post sticking out. The water was probably at least 2.5 foot deep across the driveway. I couldn't get out.
I think if they would dig the ditch out farther to the north, clean out the ditch and then put culverts in, it would keep the water from getting that bad.
Yeah, and even on the west side past Bear, the same thing on his property culvert, because there is ditch, that it's just been farmed in and blown shut, that they need to be cleaned out.
Is the township board refused to talk to you?
Well, I worked for them for 3 years here, and they fired me last August because Eddie wanted frowns in these roads. The guys from the county, Pete and them that do the graders, they would come up and do some of, Todd's Township up there, just east of Radian, and I watched them guys do that mile, and he taught me how to build these roads, and I told Eddie and Greg, you guys, we got to stop this, and it just goes in one ear, I think, and out the other. I could, it took a lot just to get them to put sand on some of the places. I built up quite a few places, that had those spots, and I was working on, but he wanted me to yank the roads up, and I told him, you can't do that all at one time because you'll trash them. And he wouldn't listen to me, so he sent me down the road. He just, they don't, they're way or the highway, but, after 3 years, I learned how to run one of those, and I knew what to do, and I've been doing it. We had a lot of terrible mud holes up there, fix them, but all of a sudden they wanted this done, and they fired me and hired another guy that they don't pay very good money like that. He had them kept from in the road pulled inside. Now we've got bridges along the road, and every time you get rain, you got a river going down each side of the road, and it's a one-lane road. And I told him that yesterday, it just ain't working. And when we get a rain, the county, the dirt that came from that pond built that road up from my place south to the corner, and they let clay on it. And that's pretty much all it is. And when I pull out of my driveway, I slide to the west, and then you got to have it in four-wheel drive just to get on the road, and then you got to stop and back up to straighten out where you can go down the road. And I've got kids that I take to the bus every morning around 6:30, and when we get a good rain, I have to go clear north and around through Radian to come back over to meet the bus. And then we have to leave before 6:30 in the morning just to get clear around there. And that's early for little kids. I've got my granddaughter and got a boy at home too that I have to take every day to school. But I've been after them guys to at least put rock or something on there. We bought 2 semi-loads of rock over 2 years ago, and it's still sitting on the Grand River house. Got home with it. And, you know, Eddie asked me yesterday, why didn't you fix that when you was doing it? And I said, because you was sending me everywhere else except for what needed to be done. You know, we got 3 main rooms up there that people use quite a bit, and mine's one. It's just, you know, just like, well, seem to be getting over it, so that's why.
They are their own entity though. I mean, you don't have any control.
Yeah, I know, but, you know, under this statute, if they're not doing their job, then what do we do?
The only recourse you would have is to
File a civil suit.
against the township. And I'm just telling you, in this weather, you're not gonna have any luck.
Yeah, yeah. That'd be nice to get it fixed before it does, but, you know, at least get it in the spring, at least.
Or the other thing would be, is to run for the township board.
Well, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
That's why we have elected positions.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid, I mean, that's really the only recourse. There might be a good talk to be had.
So all represented
This
county road. And basically the water runs down the ditch and then it's cut a ravine off the county township ditch and it runs through and goes up this pond. So just wondering what he can get done to keep the township water.
You think they cut the ditch out though, just so that they get the water runoff from their pond?
The little berm, you know, the little
Yeah.
windrow, they
Like
cut the
barrels.
little windrow off on one side, right beside that trench. So I mean, they are
Run off
trying,
the road.
yeah, they're trying to get it run off. But I mean, it looks to me like the first thing we need to do is try to bring in some rock and fill into those ravines to try to keep it and then figure out something. But I'll try to find that weed you can touch with, because there's gotta be some, this deal here doesn't state anything about water drainage, it's just more maintaining the road and,
Right.
you know, what the,
It's probably nothing you don't already know in that statute.
but if I can come up with a number, I'll visit with Rita Sharks out of Soil Conservation, they'll continue to try to get Terry Slee's phone number.
Yeah,
I don't get as much.
Yeah, I could probably catch him, you know, he drives a bus up there.
Yeah.
That man shoots it. I might be able to catch him.
Terry Slee drives it for Maxwell.
I didn't know you still doing that.
Because his deal was more of the water drainage running across the road. So,
Well, you know, I think if they, you know, you redo them ditches and put some culverts in, keep that on north, that would eliminate a lot of that.
yeah.
I'm sure there's things you can do, you know, like you said, that tailwater bit.
Yeah, you know, and Roger refuses to hook his pump up and run it back through the systems. And it stays, when it stays full, you know, and then there's a big deep ditch right there from the corner south there on Roger's side. But it only goes for a quarter mile, and that thing's probably 10 foot deep. But I told Eddie, I said, you need to take that on south, you know, at least to the half a mile line before you start your grade up, and that one's going to need a lot more of it, too. And then even on John Keenan's side, on the other side, you know, there's, you know, they could put a ditch in there and culvert it across to that, too.
Yeah.
Where does all this water eventually, where should it run?
Gosh, I don't know. There's that little creek that goes through Radian, cuts across it, and it comes, I'm thinking, across north at Bear's Place, right in that area maybe, and then it goes northeast, across Anschütz's ground. There's some big old deep holes, look like ponds and trees back where a lot of that used to collect. But, you know, like Tim Asher told me here a while back, he said, you know, the water doesn't get there anymore. They built the road up there just north of Grimes, and they should have put, I told them they should put a culvert in that, and then do it. Now it backs up on Brian and Tim. And Tim said he's lost 10 acres because of that too. You know, Brian's lost some too because of the water back. So, you know, the natural waterway should take a lot of that out of it.
Yeah, if you determine where that natural water
Right.
should be.
Right.
Probably needs a plan.
We'll try to find out who you need, that's it.
You got the number?
Yep. All right, thank you. Marshall Sanders.
It's me and Misty.
All right.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
We need to probably, yeah,
How long would you like?
probably 10 minutes.
Just discuss all that first.
Including the attorney, like the sheriff present.
Not meant to be.
I make a motion, we go in executive session for non-elected personnel, including Mr. Robinson, Nita, and the commissioners, and Marshall, and Misty, for 10 minutes.
Should we want to
Make it 15.
make that 15? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
And then would be hire Pat Nemick, as part-time employee to help out with fire department and as an EMT.
Second.
Does the MT portion of that need to be in there? Because he's already registered EMT. And his name's Patrick. We have a motion to second to hire Patrick Hemming as part-time assistant fire director with the South. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. We need to, we don't need to make motions from that.
No. Just go ahead, we need to do that on the web. Need it. Post it in the newspaper.
Where do you guys usually,
Do you have a fire website, EMS website, stay on?
Sure you do.
I bet you do somewhere.
Oh, that listserv, I do. I can
that
put
would
it out
go
on
more
listserv.
across all
Yeah, that's
the
KOC
state.
EMS.
as well.
Yeah, that's EMS and it goes out
Yeah.
every state. Oh, yeah.
To try to get a little bit bigger.
So do you need a copy of this?
Do you?
Yeah.
I think you want to. You want me to run it in the papers?
I don't
Or
think
you
it's
just want to try to
necessary.
do it? I don't think. It's costly,
No, I'd
I
say
don't
put
think we
it on,
should.
post it on the web.
You can post it on our Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
You want to email me that, Anita, so I can
Yes,
just
I'll
post it
email
to
this of
listserv?
it and you guys just push it out to whoever.
Okay.
There's a state EMS has a website.
That's it, Kansas, yeah, it's a Kansas Board of EMS.
And then fire is the same way.
Yeah.
Penn State Firefighters Association. Yeah. The other thing, we can apply for a grant through the fire department. It's due April 15th. It is a 50% match grant. We've done it in the past. We have some tanks on trucks that are in need of replacement, and this grant would allow us to apply for that. Basically, it's, if they only pay out $4,999. So I mean, the most we would match would be that number. We don't necessarily have to spend that much, but that's the most they would pay out. I'd like, just ask the commission to go ahead and apply for it and see if we can get it. With our trucks being down and some of them that we're looking at moving beds over on the newer trucks, we'd like to replace things at the same time.
Fire department budget can handle that.
Yeah.
Say go for it.
Is it three?
Maybe Kansas Forestry Service.
We have a motion for that. Yep.
No, it's under five.
So we bring something up, have a sign, something.
I guess the only time it would be is after if we receive the nurse, they accept it. Other than that. Todd, I know you weren't here last time. I kind of updated them guys that I'm working with Phil and Cindy on all the ID cards for the fire department EMS. I've been attending the station meetings. I've got 2 tonight to attend. And just so you guys are aware, the first we're going to have a chief's meeting. And after that chief's meeting, I will be in with our projected replacement of gear, like we had talked about here a while back. We're going to try to have all that finalized that night so we can have an idea of what we need to spend over the next 10 years and get a good plan in place for the replacement.
So we can do a stair step deal, not all
Yes.
in here.
Yes. Get it all broke out for coming wildland gear. The only thing that might take a little bit longer to do would be truck replacement, but for the most part, we've about eliminated all the old 2.5 deuce and half trucks. We only have one of them left, and it's actually broke down right now. It's one we're looking at getting a truck through Forestry Service for. So,
Did you guys get your parts and see that happen?
picked them up, brought them back. Jerry's got all that stuff in. He said they've actually worked on it. They can now move the truck and start it. And we're working on getting all the finishing touches done to it.
Did you bring us some extra batteries?
I brought 6 batteries back. We have 4 on hand if we need them as soon as them 4 are gone, probably. And that, need I sign that voucher on that one? That price come back cheaper than what you guys have approved, I'm not sure.
Did you tell Todd about the prices of batteries?
Yeah, I think they're $78 a piece,
Yeah.
so,
As opposed to 100.
90, almost $200 the last time, so. We've got 4 on hand, we've got extra air pots on hand, and Jerry's kind of putting a list of some of the stuff that we have to replace consistently with these trucks that go out. Minor stuff, but we're gonna get parts list together and have some of that stuff on hand, so we're not
Making special trips.
making special trips.
You can get your AirPods up there through the Forestry Department too.
Yep. Yeah, we actually have a few extra ones because I picked up, there's 2 different types and I picked up 4 of each. They needed some for that truck, so we would have extras. So that's all I got for you guys.
Very good.
Thank you.
Are we good to go?
You're good to go.
Is that right, Chip? You're running around the block?
Thought about seeing how I did, but thank you.
Lori's car was, policeman. Is that basically just to make sure the VIN number matches?
Imagine that it's not stolen, it's a state of Kansas deal, original from another state, make sure that, it's clear.
I'll make a motion, we accept the tax roll corrections.
Second. A motion and second to accept the tax roll correction. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Move we approve the minutes of the March 13th.
Second.
We have a motion and second to approve the minutes for the March 13th meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Did the 2 of you get a call from a person named Mike Self?
Is he the one with
The
the
Department of Commerce?
Oh, yes,
Is he
I
the
did.
one that
I did.
I wouldn't give out your personal
Yeah,
information to?
you said you probably know about this one.
I never got a call from him.
I
He
did.
probably couldn't find your phone number.
Well, I don't know.
Well, I told him.
Now, I told him I didn't give out personal information.
Yeah.
So he must have tracked you down some other way.
Well, anyway, he had my email address.
You got all my stuff already.
Did he tell you that
Department
his,
of Commerce?
yeah, that his supervisor wanted everyone's personal email address and phone number? That his supervisor, her name is Rochelle Rowland. And he said, you can call her and tell her. I said, we prefer it to be gone through the county clerk, just as a filter. I don't want information to come from the Department of Commerce to my email, and I might not even see it. It'll be a waste of time. But he would talk to her. She was out, he called me on Monday. She was out of the office, but he would talk to her on Tuesday. And he said, but I don't understand why the Kansas Department of Commerce wants all the commissioners' personal
He
emails.
wouldn't give me any information like it was.
Well, he was just
top secret of the secret.
He was
of
just a
life.
go-between.
I know.
Because he said, oh, how many times?
Why
am I-
would they need our personal?
That's what I said. When I
So-
kept emailing him back, and he just kept, I was like, we don't give those out.
Because if it pertains to county business, then, all correspondence should go through the county clerk, as far as I'm concerned.
I just don't give out your
But anyway,
phone
I
numbers
have-
or your emails.
I have her phone number,
There he is.
unless this persists. Do you have it, Nina? Did he give it to you? Her phone number?
What is it?
It's 785-296-3345.
Her name is what?
Rochelle Rowland, Rowand. And he's the assistant, Matt Self.
I've got his contact information.
Oh, we're doing good. Good.
How are you doing?
All right. All righty. First of all, I'll get you updated on the appeal process when we know about the valuation notices. Has gone extremely quiet. So we've had some questions, but it's nothing like we've seen in the past. Actually, the lowest we've had in appeals.
So your job's secure, you only
So-
over the 5%, are you?
Just in case. Just in case that went fast, I've been okay. So that's went well. Personal property is going good. We're getting a lot of oil and gas in the personal property. Everybody's surrendering. I shouldn't say everybody, because there's still going to be like 150 that's going to get a penalty for not rendering yet. Believe it or not, that's pretty cool. Anyway, I was thinking the main reason you guys wanted me to come down was about the commercial or the farming practices of dairy and swine possibly.
Yeah.
Kind of like the dark money book we were talking about. There's a lot of gray areas you guys in this right now. What that map right there is believe it or not, for KDHE, we're in the Southwest District. Barely. So I think we're in there, anyway. With the zoning, and I talked to Victor Foster to clarify some things, those farming practices are still in Kansas considered agricultural, okay? And remember, agricultural is exempt from zoning. But where my question came up to him, and he's going to do a little research now, is typically at those facilities, they have a hospital. An animal hospital or an animal clinic or what have you, which falls under special use permits for our zoning regulations. I said, so if you have one part of that facility that should fall under zoning, shouldn't that entire process be then for a special use permit? And he somewhat agreed with me on that. He said, but nevertheless, and KDHE hasn't called me back. I've been leaving a message with Matt, and to see they actually will have the federal regulations over us if somebody wants to come in. Okay? They're gonna have to go by all the state regulations, qualifications, and so forth. But what I would also like to do, and I guess I'm saying this because you guys rescind that, you guys talking about rescinding that resolution? Okay, okay. He doesn't think I'd be all wrong having to fill out a special use permit though either. And then I'm assuming it's gonna be in the A1 district, because I'm assuming they won't come that close to the town. A2 districts are closer to the towns and so forth like that, so.
So is there zoning put into place? I mean, is this something that we'd have to do? I mean, I don't want a hog facility put up across the road from my house. Do they have that to where within a mile you have to get people to sign on, something like that?
Our permits do. The special use permit would be within so many feet. You're going to be recognized, and you're going to be able to come to that hearing. And it's probably, to be honest with you, if you guys remember the old company over north of Stafford, was that originally Agrex? You remember we had to move all the zoning hearings up to the courtroom. So more people would come than just the people notified around them. We would have to move our zoning hearing up there probably. Well, I guess we'd have room next door, yeah. But anyway, at that time we didn't have room. But yeah, that would seem actually more.
So if they're going to put in a hog facility across from my house, I have the ability to come complain, but I can't stop it.
Yeah, that's true. But you would bring that up, and then see that would go to KDHE then also, and then they would look at that regulation. Probably if one would be like they would look at drainage, water. The water is going to be huge. Now this is just a total guess. This may not be an accurate statement, but Quivira would get involved if a dairy or swine would come in.
As far as runoff? As far as runoff into the river?
As far as
usage.
That's what it is.
They pump a lot of water.
Because they actually got involved when the dairy was in Pawnee County. You guys kind of remember that when it was just on the other side of the county line. This is probably, time goes fast, but probably back in 15 or 16. But that's when they got involved, that's when it was over.
But I mean, if these facilities come in by a circle or two circles where they can have the water roads.
I don't know if that's enough water though.
Really?
Depending on, they say on powdered dairy now, that could be because they drain that water out and reuse that water from the milk and so forth and make it a dry product that ships out. That might be a little different if that would be the process.
I mean, I guess I'm just looking at like Golden Belt where they got 60,000 cattle on site feeding every day with water. You got a dairy that's got 500. I don't see why a dairy would use that much more water than what 60,000 feed out with.
Well, it would depend, I guess.
You know, if you go up into Iowa, Illinois, I mean, it seems like about every 4 or 5 miles you have on somebody's corner, they'll have a hog feeding, 2,500 head building. Then you see them out there liquid fertilizer, you'll see the 4-inch lines running around. So that's kind of more what I would see would come into this area.
Okay.
Deals like that. And those, I mean, right now with our confined feeding area, that we would have to approve this or something like that.
Well, you remember now on the smaller facilities and so forth, the only way we can try to get a permit is by using that hospital. If they don't have those, if it's going to be a small and they're just doing that facility, they're agricultural. And then KDHE would hopefully step in with their regulations that would be strong. But you have to remember though too that like in Iowa and Illinois and so forth, their soils are so different.
Yeah.
We're so sandy, we have to just be careful. Which Ryan has to be careful with all that runoff, even with the septic. We're just we're so sandy. It's just an advantage in some ways, but in other ways sometimes it's not.
So if they just had a feeding facility without a hospital, they could go and put it in right now.
No, because you still have your resolution.
For confined feeding,
Yeah.
So, how is it that Dunn's up there, is that because it's not a feeding facility?
And they
it's
were
a breeding?
grandfathered in.
They were grandfathered
Yeah.
in.
They can really do whatever they need to do.
So right now, if somebody tried to put in a facility like theirs, they couldn't do it right
That's right.
now unless we change
That's
this
right.
process.
That's right. Same with, it used to be fancy up there, they wanted to go, to be grandfathered in.
So do we
Probably
need
didn't
to,
help you much there, but,
would we need to make any changes to our zoning if we were thinking about doing this? Or do you think basically the state? would
well, if
say-
you remember, we're still kind of waiting, this is the second year to get our zoning regular. I think, Victor Foster, I think our company that is our consultant is just extremely busy. Because I still got my tabs for when we had the meeting out at the restaurant to refine the whole guide. And so we're 2 years behind on that. And that was one thing we wanted to add in there. Wind, we do have the wind in here, but once again, with Square, that's probably not gonna happen either.
So is there something written down on that? I'd had somebody asking me about wind farm or wind turbines here in Sourdough, and I said, I thought we were in the flyway too close to Rivera. And they were saying, well, is that actually written down somewhere? Or is that just what Rivera says?
I don't have it written down. The only thing I have written down on the paths for the airways was for the airports. You can't be within so many, even north of an airport. To where, and that was brought up years ago when they talked about a wind farm on the south part of our county, that it was still too close to the Pratt Airport. Is that what? Yeah.
Because that boundary extends into what, 2 townships and?
Just barely up into
The way
our
their,
county.
the way
right?
their runway sits.
Yes,
And so forth. This
south of Maxwell.
This road just kind of got brought into the thing. Up on the south part of Ellsworth County, they're going to bring in a big 600 megawatt. They've been doing leases and so forth. Supposedly, until the government got involved and said that's where they do their turnarounds for the flybys. They use Canopus Lake from
The bottom
from
range.
their guard and everything. They make their turns, and supposedly they shut that down because that's where they turn. And they do fly up there pretty low,
Smoky Hill, bombing range.
which makes sense. So anyway, that's kind of where we're at. It's still pretty fine line there as far as who would have some authority. I did have one guy from the state tell me that I need to give the Kansas Department of Agriculture too, that they may have some guidelines. They might have some step in on this also.
So you think this is something that we should continue to look into? If it's a source of revenue for the county. But if you do it, I want to make sure people are protected.
I don't think I'm going to answer that. If you don't mind, I'm not real like anyway right now, so I'm going to push it some more.
Yeah.
It's all in how you feel. It's whether it helps the county, hurts the county. We definitely wouldn't, I don't know. You're going to get on the tax rebate.
Which
Probably.
would take 10 years.
7. We'll get a portion, but you won't get the,
So in 7 years, we could increase our tax base.
which is a pretty small period for a county, for the history of the county.
It looks to me like anytime you can increase, your tax base, if you can bring jobs in, And even if it's not bringing people into working, if it gives your local people other places to get jobs. And then what's most important to me is it gives us another outlet in this county for our grain. And then a cheap source of fertilizer.
You know, depending maybe where your location is, you know, like with the wind farms, they do a road recovery, which is you draw up to where the difference in the road maintenance they would fund for the county or for the township. They do that with the wind farms. It's another agreement for the roads. That might be another source of revenue to help that offset, because your township may not have the funds to do that.
So if we would have done something like that would have been done on these speed bus, I'm just throwing one out there like Golden Mill. If they had said these are the roads that we don't get using, so you need to pay more of the maintenance on these roads, or they tear them up now, then the township just has to pay more. So
if you want us to do, if you want us to do this or allow this or what have you, or back and so forth, then we may need some help.
Most of them look into the lease and make sure that's covered.
Good. Yeah.
This still in Truesdale? Can you go?
Right now, I have jury duty on that. I think I showed that to you last week on the
I didn't know
same
if any
day.
of you were kind of.
If that gets canceled out.
Yeah, Carl's plans kind of changed. Huh?
Yeah, I sent you that.
Rita?
Rita actually came up last week and talked to me a little bit. She said typically what I wanted to bring up wouldn't be the meat, that shouldn't be brought up there. But she thought it would, but she did think if I'm able to go that it would be a good idea to bring it up to two of the scientists that would be there. Just as another reminder to them.
What's that date?
March 26th,
March 26th.
at 9 o'clock.
You're not going.
Well,
He has jury duty at the council.
what's the chance of that, right?
Unless Mike could write him an excuse note at the hall pass.
That would work, wouldn't it?
There you go.
That could be a business.
Critically needed.
That would work.
So anyway, I didn't know. Okay.
Did they, you would know, would that be canceled that morning, or would that be canceled that night?
Is that the same time as it?
Could be that morning.
Renter.
Could be that
landowner
Could be that
tenant
morning.
meeting.
You'd hope you'd hear
Right.
something before, but
Noon.
many times things are settled that morning at the courthouse
Came in as
steps.
an email, there was a poster from.
Or after you've all filled in there and they take a look at everybody in their pools.
So they could all be there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I haven't been personally involved, but I know one the jury actually went out, and while the jury was out, they negotiated and settled it. In the meantime, the jury came back and handed the verdict to the judge. But it was
No,
never
that's
read
the
to anybody. They settled
I got
it.
it from Amanda.
So, I mean, literally.
If you're not,
Yeah,
I'll just throw it.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm good. You good? You guys have anything else for me, or any thoughts or anything? If that would get canceled the night before, I'll probably go to that meeting. Because she did say that I wouldn't have to submit nothing, but I do have it ready to go. So,
You know, is it a criminal or a civil case?
see, I don't even know that either.
Call the clerk of the court, you can ask them to tell you if it's a criminal case. You can call the county attorney and say, do you think this is going to settle, or do you have a pretty good feel that this is really going to happen? I've got other places I should be. I mean, I don't know the county attorney up in Millsboro County anymore.
Okay.
They might be able to give you some information.
Okay. I'll do that tomorrow then. Okay, everything else is going good then? All right, I'll get out of your way.
Thank you, Carl.
You're welcome. Thank you guys. Thank you. Okay.
So how's Maxwell going? How's Maxwell going?
it's still there. I'm trying to get blown away the other day, but
I heard you guys had a big window last fall.
it came through there pretty hard. Quite a few trees went down. It was only because Jess took her power out for a while.
We didn't have a whole lot of range here.
All right, well,
I'm just down here because it's time for Karen's step raise, April 1st. So she's going to go from a step range 4-4 to a 4-5. Effective April 1st.
how did her job evaluation go?
She did pretty good. I mean, they all have some issues that they have to work on. You can pull that and stuff. Yeah, she did pretty good. I mean,
She's made efforts to.
and she tries really hard to fix those things and to pay attention and stuff. She does. I think some of like with hers is lack of training. She just didn't get the right training. She didn't get explained to her. You know, it's just been told to you to do it this way, but she doesn't know the steps of why you do it that way. I think if they learn the steps of why, then they under it helps them to remember.
Certainly a lot of fours in there.
4, 4, 4. I know. She's really dependable. You can't. She's never late. She always stays late. She always shows up. She does anything you ask her to do it. She'll do it for you.
Make a motion. I'll make a motion we increase Karen Petty from step 4, or range 4, step 4 to step 4, or to range 4. Just started. Wait a minute. Hold on. Just a minute. To increase Karen from range 4, step 4 to range 4, step 5, effective 4/1/2019.
Second. We have a motion and a second to raise Karen Petty from range 4, step 4 to range 4, step 5. All in favor? Motion passes.
That's all I had. Unless you guys had something for me.
Tell me
Going
about,
okay?
Yeah. All right.
Tell me about the new driver's license now.
You mean the star?
Yes.
Okay, so
Huh?
yeah. So you have to have that effective 2020. You have to have that star on your license when you go into any federal building, any military base, or fly. Or you're going to have to bring all your documents with you, like your birth certificate, your social security card, and if you have a passport, that kind of helps. You'll have to bring all that with you in order to get into the plane or fly or get into the federal building. Or really what that star means is that we've vetted your paperwork. We've looked it over, we've sent it, and everything's great. So all you have to do is hold your driver's license out and go on it. Now, for you guys, it's really not that big of a deal because you pretty much have to do your passport or you do your birth certificate and your social security. It is your wife's that have the biggest issue because they not only have to produce if they have a passport, then they're fine. If they don't have a passport, then they have to produce their birth certificate, your social security card, and your marriage certificate because their birth certificate does not match their social security.
So to get on the planes,
To get on a plane on 2020, you will either have to have the star on your license or you will have to bring all those documents with you.
My license expires in 2022.
Yeah.
It costs you $8.
$16
To get the star.
to get the star, or you can wait till you renew. Now, you can
Wait,
renew.
the state
so you
budget
still have
was
to take your shoes off?
Yeah.
Well, if you, yeah.
So this isn't gonna change, it's just you're gonna have to have more paperwork.
You just have to have more paperwork because your documents weren't
You
vetted.
don't have the star.
Really.
They weren't vetted. So,
Can you just come in and get the
yeah.
stuff?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you just bring your license, come in, it costs $16. You can do it.
But
Or
you
if
have
you're
to
going
bring
to
all your
renew.
paperwork with you.
If you're going to renew,
Only one
it's
time.
free with
Yeah.
your renewal. You know, we just ask, you know, you bring it in,
Oh, it's free
and it's
to
free.
renew.
We don't charge you anything extra. We're just gonna renew you
There's your
and put the
Yeah.
stars. Now, if you have a CDL, we can't help you. You have to go to Great Bend if you have a CDL.
So if I want to do this, I need to bring in my driver's license and passport.
Correct. If you have a current passport, you just need your driver's license and your passport and scan both of them, and your social security card.
23.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta go do it.
Yeah, you and me are gonna be
Yeah.
a couple of years.
Now, you
of-
can renew a whole year in advance. Like if it's 2022, and you can start renewing a year to your expiration date.
I don't know if I have a social security card.
So then you're gonna have to go and
Yeah.
print the application off
Then you bring your
online.
green card.
You'll have to print your application off online. You'll have to go to Reno County. It's right next to Ken's Pizza. The hardest part is figuring out how to get signed in and get your little number. You hand that with your license to the Social Security person. They will mail you a new. Or we can use your taxes if your taxes have if your auditor didn't white out or didn't block out your Social Security. We can use your current tax form, that first page where you sign. I can use that for your Social Security. Yeah. It's on that yellow postcard that you get when you
Yeah.
renew. No one ever reads those things.
Well, I did, and I'm still confused.
Morgan was going to do her driver's license today, and we were trying to hustle around and get all that stuff, and it's like, you're going to have to do it tomorrow.
Yeah. The hardest part is the marriage certificate. Now,
She's got a passport.
yeah, if she has a passport, then she's already proved her marriage and stuff. So she just needs her passport, her Social Security card, driver's license, that yellow card they sent in the mail, and she's covered. She doesn't have Social Security card, she'll have to go to the office or bring in her taxes.
So you can take her to Ken's Pizza. You can go get your-
Right across the street from Ken's Pizza, right over there.
It's a
If you get a
win-win
new,
situation.
if you get a new social security card, can you get a laminate?
Well, they
Because
tell
that's
you
the
not
problem.
to, but you could thank the bigger cities, because in the past, they said all those laminated Social Security cards we couldn't use to vet your paperwork. But now they've thrown such a stink, and the bigger counties and the bigger cities have thrown such a stink that the state is saying, no, you can use those. I would not laminate mine. But if it is laminated, we can use those. See, they even said those black carbon birth certificates that got issued way back. I think Nick has a black and white one. They even told us at that point we couldn't use those. But now they're like, no, as long as they have the seal on them. Okay, we can.
Birth registration
Nope,
card?
can't use that. Had to be a certified
I got a
copy.
seal on the back of it.
No, but they won't let us. They won't let us use
My
those.
DD
See, I thought-
214s are all black.
Yeah, we
But
can use.
back then, you know, it was a.
See, I thought you were supposed to memorize your number and then eat your card, because you didn't.
Oh, You can actually, I think you can get 10 or 12 copies of your Social Security card in your lifetime. Unfortunately, my kids, it's down to maybe 8 for them. But, yeah, I think it's like 10 or 12 in your lifetime. I'm pretty sure my kids are down to 8 because I keep losing them, so I don't want to get a copy. Really, it's just the girls. Well, I think they're in the pink box now.
Makes you start thinking, doesn't it?
I know, I've got the star on the license, but
And the
it isn't
majority
built
of
into
your
their-
kids already have the star. It may not be on their license, but it may be on the star. So if you want us to check your, like the kids, you give us your driver's license, I bet they have the star already on it. I know Bella's documents have already been vetted. And you guys had to produce all these documents when you got your original driver's license. They just didn't scan them and vet them.
So
at
this
that
will
time.
be, once you do it one time,
You don't have to do it
then
again.
you never have to do it.
They're just trying to catch all the people.
That's what they told you the first time.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it again.
I got my social security.
So birth certificate, certified copy of the birth certificate. Not the little card that you carry. We get those all the time and people get all nervous. Can't use those. Anything else?
Just told Lori to bring in the fire safe.
I'm glad I asked that question.
I know. It is a big thing.
We have discovered we don't have a title for one of the fire trucks. It was purchased back in 2008. It's the one that was shipped in from Florida or something. Do you two remember that?
Is that the green and white?
I wouldn't know.
I remember it has the funky light on the front
Yeah.
that Bolt was
It was
so
a
proud
bumper crop.
of. Well,
Yeah.
he never applied to get a title evidently. So, Ladonna checked, because we bought it out of Missouri, but I know it came from Florida.
Yeah,
There's never was a title issued in Missouri for it either.
really.
No. So, this is where you come in. Explain what we have to
You're
do
gonna have to go get a quiet title
through the court.
through the court. That's the only way we can title it. And once
So
you
I'm
get that
thinking
journal
this to you.
entry, then I can.
Have I
I
been
can
served?
help.
I don't know.
We searched forever.
Ever. And evidently it was paid with a counter check where it didn't run through AP, because I have no record of it through AP. It was, the checks were cut on a Monday and a Thursday, I think. We did a $10,000 deposit, and then we paid the remaining $54,000 or whatever it was. But they were on odd days. So,
Did that come through a broker?
I can't find.
Because it wasn't purchased directly from that department in
Huh?
Yep, it came out of Florida.
St.
You
Peter.
got one. So do I.
So,
I wasn't sure where mine was at, but I
we
got it.
purchased it, we paid.
But yours is
company in
laminated,
Missouri,
isn't it?
It's all
No,
right.
it's just in a sleeve.
But it
Oh,
came
okay.
from Florida.
Yes.
So,
I should put mine in the sleeve.
And it was green and white and had a propeller on
Yes.
the front.
but I had Marshall look all through the truck thinking maybe paper got thrown in the glove box or something, and he said there's nothing in there.
Quiet time is not.
It's not a big deal.
So
Yeah, and so once you get the journal entry, then you guys give that to me and then I can title it.
That's in my hands. Okay, cool. Yes.
You guys have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Ready?
Yeah. I have appointments at 10 with Ben Scheibler.
She's not coming.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so she emailed you too?
Mhm.
Okay. She's very sick this morning. We'll make sure to schedule it. The reason I asked her to come next week is because
You don't know
I
anything
can't
about it.
very well. I mean, they're a regional workforce development agency. And I think what they need is a renewed memorandum of understanding with the county that all of, various counties in their service area. It probably has something to do with their compliance at a federal level when they get, but this is where I say she's the one that needs to explain all of that.
She'll be scheduled, she said.
We are trying to work with them though, that if we get our incubator program set up such that it has various training components, they can reimburse us for the services we provide to clients that they're serving. So it could conceivably give us a few $1,000s a year to help with the ongoing operation of that. So I'm trying to, I don't know, work well together with them. They haven't really, I haven't seen that much movement in our county over the years. We've been in their service territory for a long time. I think it probably isn't necessarily that they're deliberately not trying to give service here, but I think they work best when there's the kind of employers that have HR departments and hire with particular job descriptions and stuff like that. A lot of our employers won't advertise in that way, so it's a little harder to know how to work with them. Haven't got any more, I don't know, a program that's providing kind of the same type of job for a group of 10 people that we can train in particularly my group. So anyway, we'll reschedule that, but thought maybe I'd also take advantage of this time. We're working on a grant application to USDA that would provide more assistance to the incubator development. The main components of what we're asking for in funding are some funding to do some remodeling on the inside of that building. It's got a bathroom that is pretty crude downstairs. If we could put in a couple ADA bathrooms, configure part of the area so that it would have closed off offices, kind of like what we saw in the shared workspaces that we toured in Wichita, and create kind of a break room area. That would be a component of it. It would offset some of our salary expense for the year. We have been doing this for several years where we have grants that contribute to our salaries because the $80,000 roughly give or take that we get from the county each year doesn't fully cover all of our operating expenses, so we have been expanding our reach through grants, and this would be one of those examples. We would pay for computers in the area, a contract with Flex Jobs, which is an agency that basically offers some job coaching and connections to the range of companies that are hiring remote employees, and will help us filter through what are legitimate places to work with and those that are more scam-like, because there's a range out there. Those are the main missing choices of the things that we're seeking to get funding for. So I have a letter from last year when we were trying to develop an application for a grant to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. We weren't able to get some key components pulled together, and we didn't submit the application. But we have a letter from last year that I modified just a little bit to hit on a couple of things that I think they're going to score on this one. So I added some wording that this initiative is strategically aligned with the goals of Stafford County to develop a more robust and higher paid workforce, and to leverage the presence of broadband to achieve greater e-connectivity. The County of Stafford works collaboratively with Stafford County Economic Development to develop the rural economy with the goal of increasing the tax base, which is needed for the county to continue providing the essential services that support a strong quality of life. Other than that, it's not new wording. It kind of talks about some of the things that the agencies have worked on together over the years. We're not seeking any funding from the county for it. It's just a letter of support because the scoring criteria speak to whether this is strategically aligned for your region. Some regions of Kansas have a regional economic development agency, like Central Kansas has one. We don't. So if I could just say that we're looking strategically with the county and whatever other cities and things seem relevant here, I hope the titles are some points in there. This is the draft for this year, and this is the one from last year. We have some time before the deadline today, maybe next week or.
But this is just an application for applying for the grant?
Yes. So we're applying for a grant that we're still drafting it, but I think we're looking at about a $87,000 request. And we're able to show that from other grants, so Kansas Health Foundation, for example, is giving us a grant. South Central Community Foundation gave us $1,000 for chairs and desks. And then economic development is dedicating funding for utilities and general overhead for the building. So,
I would be okay with this.
Do you have much contact with the Department of Commerce? Kansas Department of Commerce?
Yes and no. Yes, to a certain, we were on the same email list. They have meetings, which I have increasingly deprioritized over time because I feel like we can sit and just talk and then not
Well, do you remember
do anything that takes action toward a specific, I don't know, outcome. So, yes and no.
What was that meeting that we went to? You know, I took you and Richard Foster and Steve. And that was something, Economic Development Alliance. You know, we went to Topeka. Remember, this was some years ago.
I remember going with you to a Western Kansas Rural Economic Development Alliance, they call it CREDA, and we do participate in those meetings regularly. In Greensburg, I remember going, I don't remember one
Kurt
specifically.
went too.
Really?
The three of, well, and Doris. We went to one.
That was at the
Doris.
hospital.
Huh?
At the hospital.
Yeah.
I remember going.
I don't remember Carolyn.
I don't,
being there.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think I
Well,
just remember you
Doris-
and I driving.
Doris was there.
Because we stopped at Greensburg and the wind generating division. After we finished the meeting, we went over and talked to that guy.
I don't think Carolyn was there. I think it was you, me, and Doris.
Okay. Well,
I
and
remember you
Carolyn
and I drove,
went.
we went to a meeting at the Methodist Church in Greensburg after things had been rebuilt.
Yeah, and then we went to
In the old county car.
Then we went to BTI and looked at their wind generating division. And my question is, I don't understand why the Kansas Department of Commerce is contacting commissioners wanting their personal emails and phone numbers.
To answer that question, one of my frustrations is they can't seem to keep an email list very current for just economic development directors. We'll get some emails and then we won't.
Because I told the assistant that we prefer, economic development or the county clerk as being the filters for legal.
I understand.
So anyway, I'm gonna make a call this afternoon.
So we haven't always paid dues to the Kansas Economic Development Alliance. So it's more of an association, although they staff it with government staff.
Right.
And I've kind of had this conflicted feeling about why are we paying dues to participate in a Department of Commerce? Shouldn't that be part of what we all pay taxes for?
Right.
And the other thing is that it seems to be much more, the people who's most supported are like Lenexa. Like, the guy from Lenexa is really highly involved in it. And it just doesn't seem to always fit rural as well as it fits a much more urban model, and so we haven't always paid dues. And I've gone to a few of their meetings, and I've kind of considered maybe trying to be in because as much as CREDA, they feel more like us, but I could also give the same criticism of CREDA. We all kind of socialize and make each other feel good, but what are we actually doing that's creating new business?
Mm-hmm. Well, and this alliance they were just another set of ears. They had they could request, to the Department of Commerce, but as far as this alliance, you just, like you said, got together and talked.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel like they don't look at things as, I don't know, so for example, they are on their legislative platform in favor of reinstituting the old, they call EZs. It seems like economic zone is not right, but basically they were rural areas designated as, economically depressed such that they warranted some incentive advantage. And so it would allow not all, but certain investments to be exempt from sales tax on construction materials. Well, it's very much along the lines of what we dealt with the grocery store. We actually got asked for testimony on this bill that CRETA has supported. We did what we actually went up and gave testimony on how that worked with our grocery store project. But it's just, I look at that bill and think, oh my gosh, it could be so much more artfully done. Instead of going back to the complexity of what we have in the ministry of it, and they're basically creating a program where you have government staff filtering through the application process. It should be, you shouldn't put the Department of Commerce as a middleman. It should be just simple Department of Revenue. You put in an exemption request and you meet the criteria or you don't, and they approve it. It's no different than what the county submits for the things that are, you know, county projects. Why CRETA chose to approach it that way is confounding to me. But
More bureaucrats.
Yeah. This looks like we sign it, we need a motion to sign this.
Well, aren't you gonna do a final letter first? And that's just a draft.
well, I mean, it's in final form. I emailed it to Nita so that it could be, I just did it
Printed on.
printed on the letterhead. I mean, I just had it during our meeting here, but
This week.
Do you want it on an
I'll,
official letter?
let me print it and then you decide next week.
Okay.
No.
Oh, you're not in a hurry for it?
no,
you said?
we
Okay.
we have some time for the deadline.
Okay.
So it just takes time to
I'll just go to
make
Google.
around
The
the
word
various.
snippet.
Well, I mean, just like this, a process of considering it and getting it and all that kind of stuff. We're just trying to make the rounds a little bit in advance.
Want the motion now then?
I just put it was a consensus.
Alright.
All this printed on the letterhead, you can sign it next week.
How did you ready to go last week?
It's hard for me to actually. So some of the GMB guys were very encouraging afterwards. They were very thankful for the meeting. They were very encouraging. They felt good about it. I think a lot of the others of us would say, we weren't sure how that. So I'm taking encouragement that the GMB folks were positive, but I didn't hear any clear kind of conclusion.
You just kind of come down and looked at everything, and didn't have much to say.
Well, no, he came down and looked, and then we had a roundtable discussion. He got to, I would say the new secretary got to see firsthand some of how could I put this? At least I observed the dynamic where DWR was acting in a very authoritative way and not always sending a clear message about what they were interested in. And in fact, okay, case in point, maybe I should say that. One of those DWR folks has a thing about cutting things 15%. And you know, just dismissive like this. There were a few times in a mature way, he got a little bit tested. Just say 15% like it's nothing. It is significant. Say that it's not. And so, anyway, let me make sure it's close. I think different times I said, part of our problem, I think, is that we have a lot of fragmented discussions on this topic. And wait, we say different interpretations of what was included that evening. We're trying to reduce that with this. And so there are several people that were trying to push for what do we need to have done, what do we need to know, and where's the holdup kid? If it's within the Department of Interior, how can we address that? And again, that's what I say, I don't know if I've heard clear conclusion, so I'm not sure I would have that same confidence that it was great, but the GMB folks felt that there wasn't that much left to, they were actually pretty close to coming to some conclusion of who you are. So if I took this, it makes sense. call fuel and coverage back.
It's something.
Now we have too much water.
Pardon?
I said now we have too much water.
Yeah.
Yes, Nebraska. Did McConaughey Dam break or did it?
There was one dam up there that was damaged.
But it was smaller.
I can't remember the name.
See, I don't know. I saw a picture, and this was several days ago, so it might not be even new news, but a dam that broke, and it, part of the reason it stands out to me is it broke a bridge in a section of Highway 281.
Yes. And some cars went off, and there's a car parked on the edge. And Sand Hill Rangers going confused because there's so much water up there that they're back down here.
Yeah.
The DWR people that were there at the meeting the day after the staff office or the day after the state office.
State office, although staff office also got represented. Pretty much the main guy that was not there was the state department.
He's short time ready.
Appreciate everything you do.
Are you guys going to deputy attainment?
Oh, yeah.
I can't go. I've got dental.
Which meeting, April 4th?
Yes.
You just Phil goes there
I
as
think-
well.
That's one of the election. Yeah. That's very long.
Oh, is
So
that-
Clayton and I are on the byway committee, and they asked us to set up a ribbon cutting for the new signage that's out there. So before I forget about it, here's your flyer. It's not until like the end of May, but if I don't tell you now, I'll forget-ish. So
Did you forget-ish?
I'll forget-ish, maybe.
24th at 10 a.m.
So I have two people, Julie Lorenz and Brad Lovelace, to reach out to yet. Have not found their emails to invite them, but Sue wanted me to invite them, so I'll work on that. But other than that,
You
I'll
say
get with
anything
you.
to Kurt?
You what?
The guy at the break band.
Curtis and BJ
Curtis
are
Will.
okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't have anything on their calendars for those
And
days.
Scott Shields coming and
Scott has not. He was part of the email thread with Sue and Deb Gruber, but Deb and Scott have not specifically responded. Sue said she could be here. I assume Scott can. He's included in the emails. Hopefully he can. But I think it's far enough out that hopefully they can have a whole lot on their calendars. But so like I said, I need to reach out to Brad Lovelace and then Julie Lorenz. I just can't find their emails online, so I'm gonna have to call up and give their email addresses. But I will get those sent out, and then I don't know what they want to talk about. Like, do I need to have like a formal like program for it for people to? Okay.
Where's that gonna be at?
The rest area out on Highway 50. We put that.
that's where that new gazebo and information panel.
And so they put they redid a bunch of stuff up on K4, the lookout up there, and did a ribbon cutting for that. And so this committee that we're on felt like, hey, we should do something
Stafford County.
down here. So I guess I'll work on it.
Okay. Thanks.
Yes,
Thank you.
it's in the works.
Anyway, I can't go, but I'm planning on going to KCCA. So,
You are?
Yeah.
In Wichita?
No, in Junction
Junction
City.
City. So
I don't know
you'll
that.
need to go ahead and register you for that. Is Barb going?
Depends on whether it's raining.
Yeah, if it's raining and I can go, I'll go.
I'll for
Plank
sure
Farm.
register you. You gotta get your own hotel.
Yeah.
I'll do that for you. And we won't have a meeting that week.
Because you're going to be.
Our conference is in Wichita that week. So May 1st, right? Yeah, May 1st there won't be a meeting.
You going to take Carol?
Right now I do. I'll try to write it down.
And I think
And you're still gone April 3rd.
4th, or 3rd, when is it?
3rd's a Wednesday.
Yes, I have to take it.
Okay. I got an updated list of the hospital board of directors. District 3 needs 2 people, and District 2 needs 1. These are the current people on the board, there's only 4.
Well, it's not up to us. I mean, it's up to their board.
It's up to you guys to find people to recommend to the board.
I thought it was the board found it and they recommended to us that we appoint.
That's not how we've done it in the past.
Then we do that economic development.
That's how economic development is. Okay, you guys typically find the board members for this.
Well,
So there's a district and there's a position District 2 and District 3.
2 positions in 3 and 1 in
What district, are you 3?
2. You're 3, you're 2. Kurt's 3, you're 2.
How many?
You need 2. But you've been trying, I know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I had 2 that almost are.
it's hard to get people to want to do it. But see, over there you had Linda Pence. She moved. And then Kate Payne was on for a while. I don't know what happened there.
and then the guy that has the convenience store.
He was on for a long time. I was just curious, so I had Joe send me that list. And
So are these the people?
that's the whole history.
Oh, that's the history
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, this is your current list.
That's who it used to be on.
Yeah.
Well, so it used to be on.
Just something to keep in mind.
And it's a non-paid position, right?
What do they mean by having a 4-year term? I mean, those people have been on there for 30 years.
I don't know if they reappoint them every 4 years. I don't know how it works.
We don't have anything to do with anything.
No, once you find them. Yeah, I don't know.
They just stay on themselves.
You get it.
I've had one person talk to me.
You get
over
a
here
dinner.
and-
You get dinner.
Wait a minute.
He's not in your district.
He's not in my district.
He's in Todd's.
Todd.
Who?
He's asked a lot of questions.
So, anyway, just something to think about.
Why is Marion Patrick in my district? District 2? Is that the same country's name?
That's not right.
That's not right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't pay attention to those factors.
No, never.
Well, when I'm over at that one,
So-
I'll ask them if there's any volunteers.
There probably will be over there.
On the current district now, let's see. Tracy Ridge. Do we need to do a 10-minute executive session to discuss our district assistant deputy fire marshal's pay?
Is that a motion?
I was asking about the
Okay, I've got to get out of here. Amen.
Okay.
That's how it's carried. I'll make a motion to go into executive session for 5 minutes to discuss non-elected personnel.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussing non-elected personnel for executive session, 5 minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes.